Hello, Steve Persch here, Director of Technical Marketing at Pantheon. We're at Decoupled Days 2022. I'm standing here with Todd Nienkerk, one of the co-founders of 4Kitchens, a major web development agency. Todd, we've crossed paths many times in the last decade plus at events like these. We often talk deep in the weeds about how website operations work, but in your role as a leader of 4Kitchens, you often need to be thinking at a higher level of the value that all of these details are bringing to your customers. Where do you spend most of your time thinking about your customers' needs these days?
Most of the time I spend thinking about customers' needs are around like results. So how can we first of all set up a system, a workflow that establishes goals early on in the course of a project and starts to capture those metrics early on before we're doing any actual work so that we have before and after comparisons. So what we are trying to push really hard for within 4Kitchens is delivering a results-oriented product, services for our clients. So specific technologies from my perspective aren't something that I focus on, or architectures, or approaches to how websites are designed. What I'm trying to lean into with our team and change about our services is being more results driven, finding the right analytics tools to use, how to uncover important goals, how to measure those goals, and then how to monitor them over time and attribute them to the right causes or changes so that that can be reported back to the client on a periodic basis and we can continue to iterate.
Yeah, and let's talk about that time portion. That's something I'm interested in. I was talking with some of the web chefs of 4Kitchens. They're focusing right now in part on a very large project for a very large university, over 1,000 plus websites. I think you've got like a decade plus long history with this university. How does it change your working relationship with a major university or any customer when you have that decade plus history that you're building upon?
Well, trust. So when you've been working with an organization for, I think actually 13 years, 14 years, you get to know their organization in a really intimate way, and often you become the longest tenured entity. The agency itself has been around longer than a lot of the people at the university. In this case, that's not true, but in so many others, if we've been working with a client, particularly maybe in some more faster moving industries like publishing, things like that, it's interesting to be when you first start working with a client. You're the new kids, and you're trying to figure out who they are and what they're about, and help guide their digital strategy. But then if you start working with them for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you've seen people cycle in and out, and then you're the one that everybody's coming to ask, like, how did that work? And what were they, what was the plan then? And how did we used to do that? And, what do you think about this moving forward? But primarily it's building trust, and it's building those long-term relationships between agencies and clients is super valuable to both parties. So we really do try to approach all and be very selective in choosing clients who are interested in those long-term strategic relationships rather than just being a build partner. There's nothing wrong with being a build partner, but the way that we're trying to construct 4Kitchens is a long-term strategic partner to work with an organization over 5, 10, 15 years.
Sure. So looking out on that time scale, the year 2025, 2030, are there any elements of your work that you expect to be different 8 years from now, 10 years from now, than compared to the way things are operating right now?
All of them. The only thing that would be that remains the same is that fundamentally everything that we do is based on relationships. So the human connection between team members, between an agency and the client partners, that remains consistent. That remains the same. But goals and what people are looking for in their websites, and how a website is built, and does a website even exist, and on what devices do you, all of that stuff is going to change. That's all the I don't know, this is probably a bad metaphor, but those are just the media in which we work. If you are fundamentally an artist, what you're trying to do is inspire or convey emotion or communicate something at a deeper level. And you may use paint or you may use sculpture or collage or whatever, but those media could change, but the fundamental goal of what you're trying to do remains the same.
All right. Well, Todd, thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. Appreciate it.